Alright. Hey guys, it's Mila Squonker, and I know I'm a little farther back than usual. I'm usually like up here, but I'm actually like back here. It's because I have a laundry basket right in front of me, so that you could kind of see how tall I actually am. I'm 5'10". And today I will be doing a book review of The Death Cure by James Dashner, the last book in chronological order of the Maze Runner series, because technically speaking, it goes to Fever Code, which just came out, and I recently got it. Newest video down in the bio. It goes Kill Order, Fever Code, Maze Runner, Scorch Trials, and then Death Cure. So this is the last book in chronological order, but technically speaking, this is the third book published. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the review. So, The Death Cure, we immediately pick up after where we left off in the Scorch Trials. I'll link down my cringy Scorch Trials review, because that was one of the very first book reviews I ever did, and I'm cringing at it every time I just think about it. The Scorch Trials, we left off with the boys just getting to the safe haven, and so in the Death Cure, we see the boys arriving at the safe haven, but it's really weird how it opens, because I haven't read this, like, it's been a while since I read it, and, I believe we open up with, like, Thomas just thinking about what had just happened and what was his past like and how he got here. And so it's really weird to see what was going down in that first scene, and then like once chapter 2 starts, chapter 2 is just like, okay, back to reality, here's what's happening. And it was really weird. So we do see a bit of what Thomas is kind of going through, and then it immediately picks up after saying like, hey, Hio could get your memories back, but they don't mention it at all one bit. And with the memories getting back, because when the boys first arrived at the Glade, their whole entire past memory was wiped. They only remember waking up in the shaft that's going up to the Glade. That's the only part they remember. And the fact that they said, oh, we got our memories back. And they did not mention at all one bit what that memory was. And so the Kill Order and the Fever Code might solve some things, so that way I could give this book a less of a rant. But then again, that we're just solely talking about the Death Cure. And they said, hey, we're gonna get your memories back, but we're not gonna mention it, like what was in the memories, hence why we had the Fever Code and the Scorch Trials. And holy cow, it was a mess. And then you have the people who wanted to get the memories. In this case, it was Teresa and a whole bunch of other people. And then you have, obviously, the 3 rebels. You have Mino, you have Newt, and you have Thomas. Oh, yeah, by the way, they also say who was immune to the flare and who was not immune to the flare. Not immune to the flare is fracky Newt. So I was pretty darn diggity upset by it. And oh my god, I literally like I dropped my jaw, because I was like, ah! And I really didn't want that to happen, because Newt's just a precious human being. And the fact that he is not immune, you immediately saw that personality change. And oh my god, Newt just would not shut up about it. Like, yeah, we know that you are going to die, but at the same time, can you just cut some slack? Like, it's not solely just about you. Yes, we know you're dying. Yes, we know you're not immune. But at the same time, like, and then it just went drastically worse from there, because you did kind of see the stages of what Newt was going to go through and what Newt was going through. So yeah, it wouldn't be surprised if he died. Ha ha. And oh my god, it was just okay. So the other thing I do want to talk about is Teresa. Now, Teresa was there, but she wasn't there, if you know what I'm trying to say here. And Teresa was just useless, I want to say, because she really didn't do anything. Because we really think about it, here's how it's going so far. Thomas and the gang. Thomas and half the gang. Thomas by himself. the Death Cure is focusing solely on Thomas because apparently Thomas is like the solution to getting the Flare to have a cure, and he needs to be there for Wicked. And it drove me insane because, you know, yeah. So that also just drove me insane, and I really, 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 really didn't like it. And I feel like Teresa with, like, James Dasher is trying to get rid of Teresa at this point because he knew that Teresa was going to be a flat character. Scorch Trials, however, is a different story. But the Death Cure, we're focusing more on Thomas, and Thomas is with different people. Brenda. And the fact that Teresa's only there for around probably 15 pages, I wouldn't be surprised if she died. Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler alert, Newt and Teresa both die. So, wouldn't be surprised. I do, now that I'm actually thinking about it, before I was about to film the video, that this book kind of was predictable in a way, because we all knew at some point Thomas was going to go there, and we all knew Teresa was going to die with the fact of screen time that she did get, and Newt was just going to die, and it was slightly predictable. I mean, James Dashner with his spikes of, like, suspense, it only worked for Scorch Trials and Maze Runner. It did partially work for the Death Cure, however, because of what was happening, and with all the news of who's immune, who's not immune, and Newt's death, like, that, those are some points I can, like, argue with. But then it was just getting tiring at this point. Like, wouldn't it be a shocker that Thomas has to come back? Wouldn't it be a shocker that they have to use Thomas's freaking brain? Wouldn't it be a shocker? Wouldn't it be a shocker? Because this book is too dang predictable. Overall, however, I did get this a 4 out of 5 stars because it did fulfill me in some places. It was a good ending, but it wasn't the ending I was looking for. I would like to see where the Kill Order and the Fever Code go from here, so I will be reading those probably next month. So yeah, that is my review of the Death Cure by James Dashner. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. What were your thoughts on the Death Cure, and are you excited for the Death Cure movie, which will be premiering sometime in February? So yeah, my name is Gillian. I make videos every single weekend now because of my schedule, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Be sure to like, subscribe, and answer that little question I have, because nobody answers my questions. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.